Hello and welcome. This is Cherie with Rehash Fiber, and today I've got the Float Shawl for you. The Float Shawl features assigned pooling, which is a very fun technique to do with some special variegated yarn. So I'm going to tell you all about it. The float is by Dawn Barker from Chasing Rabbits Fiber Co. It is a lovely big triangular shawl. She describes assigned pooling perfectly, so I'm going to read a little bit. Assigned pooling occurs when a change in stitch and texture is assigned to changes in color within the skein of variegated yarn. So stockinette stitch is assigned to the main color to create the backdrop, and then the cluster is the color in the skein, the alternating color. So what that means is when you are shopping for yarn for this project, you need to look for skeins that have a background color that you like, but then 1/4 of the skein needs to have the contrasting color, because that will be your assigned pooling florette. I found the most beautiful yarn. It is called Turtledove, and it is from a chick that knits. And you can find her on Instagram or a chickthatknits.etsy.com. It took 3 skeins of Turtledove. It's a fingering weight, but it was beautiful because I loved that the background was gray. The variegated color contrast was pink and green, which looked like flowers. And I wanted little flowers on this beautiful shawl. Back to the float pattern. It is a triangle. You're just increasing every other row. And at the end, it has you doing a rib. I did not do that. I just kept going straight just because that's what I wanted. So to show you the actual assigned pooling, I have it here in a tutorial I'll show you right now. For me, the intrigue started with seeing some pictures on Instagram of this assigned pooling. Different projects were going on, and I was just captivated by how beautiful the little flowers, or whatever they were, the little splotches of color looked in the shawl. It started with this pattern called Float by Dawn Barker of Chasing Rabbits Fiber Co. Then I got the yarn from a chick that knits. And what I loved about her yarn is that the color just looked like flowers. I love that the gray you knew were not flowers. And then the colorful part had the green and the pink. And here worked up, it looks just beautiful. So it took 3 skeins of that. And I'm going to show you how to do the assigned pooling right now. You can see here I'm pretty far along in the project. It's been a whole lot of fun. It's one of those projects that you can take with you when you're traveling or with friends. Once you know how to do the assigned pooling, you don't need the instructions anymore. You can just keep going to town, and that's been really nice. So with a chick that knits yarn, it's all gray except for the colored parts. And what you do is you knit until the colored area comes along. So I've knit along, and here you see the colors coming. Very fun. When the color comes, you're going to do 5 stitches where you wrap twice. So here we go. We're going to knit, wrap twice. 1, wrap twice. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you turn your work completely to the other side. Flip it over, move this yarn out of the way. You're going to move the 5 stitches that you just wrapped twice to your right needle. As you're doing it, you're going to undo the wrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to take them back to the left needle. Believe me, this gets fast. As you're doing this over and over again, you just pretty much do it without even thinking about it. Now we're going to knit and purl 5 times into all of these stitches. And I'm going to show you how you do that. You go into all 5 of them like a knit, and you knit it, but you don't do anything else except move your yarn to the front for a purl. And you purl it, that's 2. Move the yarn to the back, knit, that's 3. yarn to the front, purl through all of them, 4, one more time, yarn to the back, knit. Once you've done that 5 times, now you can slide these 5 stitches off your left needle. Now you turn the work back and you continue on knitting on your row. Don't worry if you feel like your little float here is messy. They end up looking nice. And now you're just going to continue on knitting. So you knit through the ones you just did. And then just continue knitting in your work. All the way across. So next time I run into color again, I will do that same thing again. All right, I'm going to take it all the way across this knit row, and then I'm going to show you what you do when you're on the purl side. Here I am on the purl side. I have purled all the way up to the point of where we see the color starting to change. So I'll do a couple more regular purls. Now on the purl side, you just wrap twice for 5 times. So go into purl, wrap 1, 2, wrap twice 2, wrap twice 3, 4, and 5. Now we turn the work to the other side. Just flip it. And we're doing the same thing that we did before. You're going to move the 5 stitches you just made wrapping double. You're going to move it to the right needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to move them back to the left needle. Get them all in there. Pull in a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to knit purl 5 times through all 5 of the stitches, just like we did for the front. So you're going to knit into all 5. Yeah, make sure you get it just right and not catching anything else or catching it weirdly. All right, knit, don't remove anything, bring the yarn to the front, purl, yarn to the back, knit through all of them again. Yarn to the front, this is our 4th time, purl through all of them. Yarn to the back, knit through all of them. Remove it from the left needle, and there you have it. Flip it back over and we're going to finish our purl row. There we go. And just purl right through all 5 of those that we just made, and then continue on to purl. Now, when I first started doing this, I thought, wow, what about this big gap here? That just looks huge, like a hole. Well, it works out because when you end up coming back on your knitted side, you're just going to knit. This is after you've completed your purl row. You're back through knitting. You just knit across them right onto that one, and it ends up being just a very minor hole. That is not a big deal. Another thing worth mentioning, and don't let it freak you out, is when you need to do one of these floats on the edge. Well, if you're working on the knit side, you'll just knit all the way over, and if you see your color starting to change, just make sure you leave 5 stitches on the needle. You can just start it a little early or finish it a little late, but you'll just take it right into the edge. And then when you're purling, same thing. You see how these came right to the edge? Just make sure you leave 5 stitches to work with either way. So what I want to tell you is that this is a great social project. It's very easy to keep track. So once you know how to do the assigned pooling in knit and purl, All you got to do is knit till the color comes, and then you do your pooling and you just keep on going. And it grows and grows and grows until you have your lovely shawl. And it's a whole lot of fun and very pretty and unique. All right, if you're sitting there wondering, what's that knitted garment Cherie's wearing? This is the Dingley Dell by Isabel Kramer. She is my favorite designer. What I love about her patterns and garments is that there's always something really great that makes them special, even if it's just a little touch of something here or there. And then there's usually a portion of it where you just get to whip through it, knit right through. It's great. Now the special part was just the changing color. And there's a nice little ribbing here around the V-neck. Her items are very wearable. All the things that I've made by Isabel Kramer, I wear all the time. I just keep going through them in the drawer and they're great. The yarn I use for this has a very special memory. It's from when I was in Phoenix and I visited Sonoran Desert Dyed Fibers. Cheryl is the owner and dyer of that company, and she dyes with natural plant dyes from Arizona. So the gray in here is from black bean and the green is from Palo Verde plant. So it's a special memory and I just thought I'd share it with you. All right, if you like fun merchandise, you can go to my website, rehashfiber.com, and check it out. On there has things like the globe of yarn. You can get a t-shirt with the word "Got Kivute" on it and get your friends wondering what Kivute is, unless they're your fiber friends, and then you can see if they know it. Also, there's Yarn Crawl the World on there. Anything you buy helps keep the show going. But just by being here, you're helping with the show. So thank you. All right, everybody. Happy knitting the float shawl, and thanks for watching.